How are you doing? Hey baby, I have a question for you. I'm live. About the boat situation. Um about that boat situation. What's up everybody? This is Rockstar T, going live again about the boat situation. Do you think that was a war crime?
No comment.
No comment. No comment. That's not what up to the two people that's in here. Here's my thing. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Brandon? Can I ask you a question? Cause she don't want to participate because she's scared of what other people are gonna think, which I don't give a damn what other people's
Well,
opinion are.
I don't give a damn what somebody.
What's up, man? Big Bad Bo, what up, though? What's the word, man? The word of the day is how many of y'all agree with me that Trump should fire Pete Hedgehog? Huh? Because what he did, and I know I'm beating on the dead horse, but I'm the last few videos I don't rattle a lot of people, even getting death threats. These MAGA motherfuckers is crazy. Damn, I'm trying to. They crazy. All right.
You can't even stop.
Listen. I'm trying to stop cussing so much, but I'm just passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? So we got 14 people in here. I want to engage with y'all. Do you think I'm asking all 14 of y'all in here? Do you think that Trump should fire Pete Hedgehog or Hegself or whatever the hell his name is? Do you think that he should be fired for because he committed a war crime? That's all I want to know. All right, we got Brandon. Brandon said yes. Okay. So we got somebody that's thinking like me, rational. I just think it's a horrible thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even trying to sound like a broken record. You feel me? But the thing of it is that I have a problem with the United States government. I know, people are saying, "Well, T, you in Detroit." People are being unalived every day, pretty much in Detroit. And I get it, man. Crime is gonna be crime. This is why I tell everybody to stay savage ready. But when you have your government that's using taxpayer money, to pay for weapons, our tax dollars paid for that, for those two innocent men to be, you know, killed, basically, man. And I got an issue with it. Do you have an issue with it, baby? Do you have an issue with it?
No comment.
No comment. Anyway, y'all, what's going on? Wait a minute, hold on. WR8991. You said that, okay. You said that you don't think that, you said no. Why do you, why? So because a person is a drug dealer, that means that it should be a death sentence, that you should die. I mean, can you explain that? How can you justify that? I don't know what you're talking about. Me going to the airport and picking up some. Hey, that went over my head. Big bad ball. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why? Listen, big bad ball. I respect you, brother, but you got to have some compassion, my man. You got to have. You got, and I get it, but we just can't go around dropping bombs on people, and it's not. I mean, I disagree the way they're going about it. Why can't they just surround that boat or sending the little birds with the Navy SEALs on them or Delta Force and just board them and just arrest the people, get the drugs, and then give them their due justice. Give them their due justice. I mean, being caught with drugs should not be an automatic death sentence. And what makes this different? What up, though, Starboy? What's good with it, Starboy? Um, and I'm trying to. Yesterday, I got a little bit too emotional because it really did bother me that these two gentlemen that was on this drug boat were basically struggling for their lives for 41 minutes, man. So it's not like the generals are correct in the right term. People are saying double tap. It was a double tap strike. No, it was not a double tap. For those who don't know what baby, do you know what double tap mean? What does double tap mean? Okay, she's all right. Double tap is like you got special forces, right? When they in a situation in like a combat zone or some type of military action taking place, right? An operation taking place, when the Navy SEALs or Delta Force go in and they pop a terrorist or something, the bad guy, they gonna double tap him to make sure he ain't about to get back up and be back in the fight. So that's what a double tap is. So they cannot call that boat strike a double tap for the simple reason that they were successful in destroying that boat. What happened was it was two people that survived it, and they hanging on to the debris, to the wreckage with their dear life. So when Pete Hedgehog say, "Oh man, I don't know what happened. I left out the room. It was the fog of war." It's bullshit, man. It's straight up BS. Because a fog of war, you don't wait 41 minutes to decide whether you are going to, drop a missile on two innocent, unarmed people that's holding on to dear life. You don't do that. That's not no fog of war. That's something diabolical. That's people sitting somewhere in a control room watching these people struggling for their life, forget what they have done. And then I'm hearing that the boat wasn't even headed to the United States. The boat was headed somewhere to what, Saranara? That them drugs was about to go to Europe. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I understand. I get it. I understand what y'all saying. Drugs destroy a lot of people's lives. It destroys families. It's an ugly thing. Addiction is an ugly thing, man, that to have to go through. But many people have many addictions. Some people are alcoholics. Some people are sexaholics. They're addicted to sex. Hell, I think at one point in my life I was like that, And then you got people that's on the drugs, man, and I feel bad. It's a messed up situation. So I don't get me misunderstood. I understand. I'm looking at this situation from both perspectives, okay? Because there's a lot of people. My boy Prince, I was a diehard Prince fan. He died from an accidental fentanyl overdose. So I get it. I understand the pain that you're going through. But at the same time, you got to look at it from this point of view. What if say we was at war with Venezuela or Iran or and one of our boats got hit by a torpedo or something, and you got the ship that our sailors are on, our soldiers are on, have been blown up, but it's still survivors. How would y'all feel if the Iranians or whoever we in conflict with, drop the bomb on them to kill them? That's against that is a war crime. It's a war crime. I need for y'all to just Take a moment and just listen. Take your emotions out of it. See, a lot of people, yeah, they're drug dealers. They deserve death and all that and stuff. They deserve to be, and that's not the way our laws here in the United States. They don't kill people. That's not a death sentence if you get caught with drugs, cocaine, fentanyl. It's not a death sentence. So these people, the United States, man, this government, Trump now, I think they playing dirty. I think the end game, at the end of the day, it's not even about the drugs. What up, though, man? Appreciate y'all for jumping in. We got 88 people in here. It's not about the drugs. Don't let Trump fool y'all and think that he care about the drugs. Don't what Trump want. I'm gonna tell y'all what he wants. This is what the Trump administration want. They want to get Maduro out of there. It ain't about the drugs, the drug interdiction. It's not about that at all. It's about regime change. Okay? They using that same textbook play that they did to get inside Iraq. Saddam Hussein was the biggest terrorist in the world. Saddam Hussein got together with Osama bin Laden and they plotted 9/11. Saddam Hussein got Al Qaeda inside of it. He supports terrorists. They're using the same playbook, and come to find out, none of that was true. He didn't have no weapons of mass destruction. He didn't have shit to do with 9/11. He didn't have nothing to do with, matter of fact, he hated Osama bin Laden. They're using the same playbook. This time, instead of weapons of mass destruction, they're using drugs of mass destruction. They're saying that the drugs are killing, hundreds of thousands of American citizens. And it probably is, but I'm telling you, listen to me. And I'm not against you. I'm not against you if you're a Trump supporter or a Democrat or nothing, man. We all in this shit storm together, right? But my thing is, they're using that as a precedence to, as an excuse for regime change. You don't put no big ass aircraft carrier, have 15,000 soldiers stationed all around and putting all these military assets and in the Caribbean for nothing. It's about regime change. Trump wants Maduro out, and they want our oil companies in. It's just as simple as that. Y'all falling for the okie doke. Now, I would like to play something for y'all. And if this don't change your mind, wait a minute, if I can find it. If this don't change your mind right here, y'all just, and I ain't even trying to insult nobody, but y'all just got y'all head stuck up Trump's butt. If that makes sense. Because what I'm about to play, check this. Hold on, let me fire up this TV. Hold on, y'all. Check this out, y'all. I want y'all to look at this, all right? Maybe this will make a little bit more sense. Check this shit out.
Now, that attack included a follow-up strike, the double tap, that targeted 2 people who had somehow survived the initial blast. Jonathan Lemire and his colleagues describe it like this in The Atlantic. The suspected drug traffickers, the lone survivors of a U.S. airstrike, were sprawled on a table-sized piece of floating wreckage in the Caribbean for more than 40 minutes. They were unarmed, incommunicado, and adrift as they repeatedly attempted to right what remained of their boat.
All right. Okay, dig this, y'all. Did y'all see that? Wait a minute, hold on, my bad. I didn't mean to exit out of it. But did y'all just see that? Did y'all just see that? Unarmed, incommunicado. So they wasn't communicating, and they was attempting to try to survive. Now, listen to this. Listen, hear me out, y'all. You got these idiotic Republican senators or whoever this person was that was like, oh, they was just trying to get a walkie-talkie. They was just trying to signal for their buddies to come around in their boats to pick up, right? If you don't been bombed and you in the middle of a in the Caribbean, the ocean, or whatever it is, it's not like it's a little lake. It's not like it's a river. This is a big ass body of water. Your natural instinct is you trying to survive at that point, man. And whether they got hit or not, they probably was gonna end up going up under anyway. But for them to wait 41 minutes, think about this, y'all. 41 minutes. These people, they're not armed. They're not putting up no type of resistance. They're trying to survive. They signaling to the drones or aircraft above to be like, hey, we trying to surrender. And you wait 41 minutes and you drop another bomb on them on purpose? On purpose. That's outright murder. It's a war crime. And Pete Hedgehog days are numbered. Democrats need to grow a freaking spine and stand up to this guy, because next thing you know, it's going to be us. It's going to be us. They're gonna label one of y'all a terrorist, a narco terrorist or something, and next thing you know, it's gonna be a bomb coming down on your house or your car. This shit is dangerous. Let me finish playing this right quick.
Incommunicado and adrift as they repeatedly attempted to right what remained of their boat. At one point, the
Check this out.
raised their arms and seemed to signal to the U.S. aircraft above a gesture. Some who watched the video of the incident interpreted it as a sign of surrender.
They were trying to surrender. Come on, man.
Off, leaving only a bloody stain on the surface of the sea.
Come on, man.
The two men's desperate final moments made some viewers nauseated, leading one to nearly vomit. It was worse than we had been led to believe, one person told us. That again is...
Do y'all see that? They said it was so horrible. They said it was so horrible that some people...
Crazy idea. We were surprised that no...
Some people couldn't even watch it. They couldn't even stomach it. Watching two people get murdered by the United States government, the military. We supposed to be setting examples, not of morality all around the world. Not being, just what's the word for it? Just trigger happy, just killing people for no damn reason, man. You cannot make this shit up. But this is what I want to play for y'all. This right here. We got a retired general. Listen to what he got to say. Listen to this shit.
That moment right there, as it is written, is that a war crime?
That's a war crime.
It is, Nick.
No, he's a retired general.
Yeah. That moment right there, as it is written, is that a war crime?
I believe it is, Nika. What you're talking about is a soda straw look at a couple of individuals on floating debris. What you're not seeing is the context of a widening picture that shows they're in the middle of an ocean. Imagine yourself falling off of a cruise ship and being asked to hang on to a piece of wood after you've just been struck with a large kinetic round that has killed 9 of your 11 co-pilots on this boat. It doesn't matter what they're doing at that point. They deserve to be picked up, rescued, and perhaps put in jail. That could be the approach that someone might use in this situation for a couple of criminals, if they are in fact harvesting drugs and taking them to another boat. But some of the additional details that are coming out of this story about the boat heading in a direction that was not toward the United States, the first strike, how they were considered, the time limit between the first strike, the second strike, and then the third and fourth strike, continue to tell me that this was not something that the U.S. military is trained to do, nor should they do. It is, in fact, in my view, a war crime.
It's a war
So,
crime.
Jay Johnson, as you write in the New York Times,
It's a
before
war crime.
Homeland Security, you were general counsel of the Department of Defense.
You cannot kill people trying to surrender. You cannot just kill people. Listen, see, I know I went off on a lot of people. I was upset. I know I went off on a lot of people yesterday, man. You know, and I get it. People get in their feelings, they get in their emotions, and you know, and I understand drugs do ruin people's lives and take people's lives and stuff, but what happened to we cannot stoop to their level? Because right now, if you bomb a boat and it happen to be survivors and they trying to surrender and they need somebody to rescue them, you just can't be a savage and just just kill innocent people, because I don't give a, at that point, I don't care what they done. The fight is over. The boat has been blown up. The drugs have been destroyed. So why destroy some lives, innocent lives? Because at that point, and the reason why I say innocent, because at that particular time when that happened, they were innocent. They didn't have no RPGs, no bazookas, no rocket launchers or AK-47s shooting at the drone. Those were two human beings floating on debris, trying to hold on to their dear lives. And what the United States government do? Drop a bomb on them to finish them off. And if you agree with that, it speaks volumes about you. It tells me that you don't have no empathy. It tells me that you don't have no compassion. It tells me that you are cold-hearted. Because anytime when somebody is standing by that particular order, that illegal order, and they celebrating and saying they deserve what they got, first and foremost, you don't even know the backstory. You don't know whether those people was made to do that, or you don't know whether it was drugs on there. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the proof? This shit is dangerous. All right, I got some more I want to show you.
And the president for approval. So
let's go back to the general right here. Let's when he talks again. This is just horrible, man. You know, you just can't go around killing people. Here we go. My bad, y'all. You can't just go around. Let me mute the TV until this commercial end. You just can't. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. You can't go around just killing people just to kill people. For those who don't see, I got a problem with it, man. Why do some of y'all in here think that that's cool to do?
The category of
check it out.
Crime. Since this boat was not headed to the United States.
And remember, this boat wasn't even headed to the United States.
A stronger role, their advice, which is needed, can be listened to.
So, General, I'd like to go back to you and ask, again, in terms of the category of war crime, since this boat was not headed to the United States, was it in any capacity on its way to a place that would, if it could actually propel itself to move from where it was, this piece of the wreckage that they were holding on to, which is, I know we're grasping here to even believe this.
Exactly. Thank you.
The defense secretary's words,
they think the American people was dumb.
Any possibility it was on its way to go somewhere to do damage to the United States? Would you consider this combat in the fog of war, to use the defense secretary's words?
No, Mika. No.
And this is a general.
Questions you just asked. Let's put in a little bit of context here. First of all, the continual use of the term double tap is wrong. That's a term that special operators use when there's two successive rounds at a target to eliminate it and to get rid of someone who is attacking them. This was a restrike with time between the first strike and the second. That gives you time to figure out what you're going to do and clear that so-called fog of war, which is really
Exactly. See, he nailed it. It wasn't a double tap, it was a restrike. And check this out, y'all. 41 minutes. They waited 41 minutes to fire that second missile at that boat. They waited 41 minutes. So they watched those guys, those two men, struggle for their lives for 41 minutes. Man, this
Just as Clausewitz defined fog, confusion, chaos, and misunderstanding and miscommunication.
Let me rewind that. What did Pete Hedgehog say? Pete Hedgehog said the fog of war, like you said, which means it's a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos, breakdown of communication. This was not no fog of war. They waited 41 minutes to decide to kill these people. Thank you, General. We need generals like him.
This was a restrike with time between the first strike and the second. That gives you time to figure out what you're going to do and clear that so-called fog of war, which is really just, as Clausewitz defined fog, confusion, chaos, and misunderstanding and miscommunication on the battlefield. Secondly, what I would also say is Secretary Hegseth is basically convening everyone to think he has been in war for 20 years, and this is the kind of things that happen in war. It's not. What I'll tell you, having been involved in strikes like this on the ground, the only time you consider a restrike is when the enemy continues to fight, and you're continuing to either strike them with artillery or some type of faraway missile. So a restrike like this occurs when you realize the individuals on the ground or in the water are trying to fight back. And the third thing is, again, the context of this entire strike of a piece of debris floating around the middle of the Caribbean, where these individuals are not going to go anywhere, which will become clear with the film, I'm sure, even though I haven't seen the film, truthfully, no one else has either. We will see exactly what happened and put it in context. There is no way you can justify this kind of a restrike against two individuals who are unarmed, in danger, and they're just floating around the ocean without any methods of communication.
It was straight murder. Straight. He said it. I couldn't have said it better. That was straight up murder. And Pete need to be brought up on war crime charges. They murdered the United States government. The United States government murdered two innocent shipwreck survivors. I got a problem with that. And I need y'all to set your political differences aside, because a lot of y'all get mad. You know, a lot of y'all don't take this shit personal. But I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If you're a religious person, a righteous person, don't set your morals and your standards, your spiritual standards, and your morals aside because you're so loyal to Trump or the Trump administration or Pete Hedgehog, whatever the hell his name is. Don't blindly just believe everything that they tell you, that they say. In the Bible, it says, thou shall not kill. Okay? So I'm tired of people, oh, they was drug smugglers, they was drug dealers. I'm gonna tell you something. The people that was on that boat, they wasn't no top tier. They wasn't top tier cartel. They somewhere in mansions somewhere, man. These were the bottom of the barrel people that probably was, they might have had their people held, you know, hostage or something, threatening their family or whatever. I mean, you couldn't pay me $1 million to get on a boat to smuggle something, and I know it's a chance, a 50-50 chance it's going to get bombed. So them people might have been under duress to do that in the first place. But why? That's not even the point that I'm trying to make. The boat was already destroyed, y'all. You got two people hanging on to debris for their life. You wait 41 minutes. These people are not armed. I'm hearing that's how you know that these Republicans are on that bullshit because they coming up with every excuse they can think of. Oh, they was on their walkie-talkies. They was on their cell phones calling their homies up, to rescue. Oh, they was about to try to retrieve the drugs and still try to take it to their destination. Man, come on, man. Y'all reaching for straws now. Murder is murder. Why haven't they released the video in its entirety that shows the second strike? You know why they haven't released that video? You know why they haven't released that video? Because it makes them look guilty as hell. Guilty as they are. That's why they haven't released that second video. You don't just kill people just to kill them. You don't just attach, okay, you a terrorist now, I'm gonna attach that to your name, so now they give me the right to unalive you now. Without no trial, without no jury, none of that. It ain't right, man. It's not right. And it's just a matter of time before the chickens come home to roost. So all of you out there that's approving of all this stuff and cheerleading and all that and stuff, man, where's your morality at? Where's your spirituality at? How can you approve and cheerlead somebody dropping a bomb on two innocent people? That's not even it ain't even it's not even a war at this point. And then there's the sad thing about it. A lot of people can't even see the what's really going on right now, man. It's all about regime change. At the end of the day, Trump don't give a damn about no drugs. What he give a damn about is Venezuela's oil. They got the largest oil supply in the world. So Trump want Maduro, which is the president of Venezuela. He want Maduro out, and he want our oil companies in. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Because if it was really about drugs, they would be doing the same crap to Mexico. They would be bombing Mexico. They would be bombing Colombia. Because the biggest of the drugs ain't coming. Venezuela is just a little small. It plays a little small role. It ain't on the scale of Colombia. They damn sure ain't on the scale of Mexico. So it's all about regime change, people. So that's what it's all about. And I'm glad some of you, and then, like I say, for you trolls, I ain't apologizing to y'all for shit. Y'all got what y'all got. But for the people that is kind of conservative or a Trump supporter, I fuck with Trump. I like Trump, but do I agree with everything that he does? No, because I have my own brain and I know with common sense what's right and what's wrong. And I just feel like the same thing. He taking a playbook out of he using the same playbook that George W. Bush used. They lied to us to get us into a war with Iraq. And they wanted the oil, and they just thought they was gonna make Iraq into some type of democracy or something with their dumb asses. But all they did was benefit Iran. They knocked off Iran's arch enemy, number one arch enemy, and made them the power brokers in the Middle East. So I'm telling you that Trump is using all this drug shit to get in on the oil. They want Maduro out so our oil companies can come in and we build their infrastructure and their oil installations and infrastructure and all that, and we gonna get all of the oil. Hey, at the end of the day, I ain't mad at it. I mean, it is what it is. The United States been doing shit like that, destabilizing other countries forever. They've been doing this type of shit. But my problem is, you got this alleged drug boat. They got hit the first time. Okay? 9 people died the first strike. 2 survived. They don't have no weapons. They don't have no phones, no walkie-talkies, no bazooka. How did they pose a threat? Can any one of y'all that disagree with me right now, I want to have this debate with you right now. If you disagree with me, if you don't struck that boat and it left two men hanging on to dear life, floating, grabbing debris, using it as a flotation device. They don't have no weapons. They're not putting up. They watched these two guys for 41 minutes. So it's not like they struck the boat and then hit it again. No, they waited 41 minutes watching these people struggle, fight for their life. How can you justify that? I'm waiting. How can you even justify that? Where's your righteousness? Unless you just a dirty, low down, evil. See, what a lot of people don't understand is some people was just evil, man. And see, some of these evil people make it up in the ranks in politics but they still an evil ass person. Because only an evil person can pull the trigger on somebody to drop a bomb on people that's trying to, that's shipwreck, man. Make this shit make sense. So for those that's disagreeing with that, y'all ain't right, man. There's something wrong with y'all, man. Y'all got an evil heart, a black heart, an evil ass heart. Y'all ain't got no compassion. And this is people like y'all is the reason why the world is fucked up. This is why the world is fucked up right now. So y'all savages without even being savages. You can have a savage spirit. You're supposed to have mercy, compassion, and empathy for people. You's a dirty, rotten, evil person to be like, I wish death on you because you're a drug dealer. You're smuggling drugs. So you should be dead. I wouldn't even want to know nobody like you. I wouldn't want to even know nobody. I would never associate myself with somebody that got an uncaring, an unloving heart. And I ain't even trying to preach to y'all. But what's righteous is righteous. And some of y'all got the nerve to say y'all religious. Some of y'all got the nerve to say y'all Christian. Well, how about thou shalt not kill? But I guess if it's Trump or Pete Hedgehog, they get a pass. They get a pass with all this crap. And then I'm tired of y'all bringing up Obama like I'm some type of super Obama fan. I didn't like his ass either. He bombed a lot of people. But the people, at least the people that he did them drone attacks on, at least they, as far as I know of, were terrorists that were really, really plotting to really do some violent shit. But to bomb two innocent people? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Reading these comments right there. Yeah. You right, Mr. 57. I'm glad. That's why I had to show the video. I had to show that video because we got retired generals. We got retired generals. It's like, hey, that was wrong. That's a war crime. And then we wouldn't like it if the tables were turned and say we were in a theater of war, having some type of war or conflict, and one of our boats get attacked and sailors survive it. How would y'all feel? And they are combatants. How would you feel if Russia rolled up on them or Iran rolled up on them and fired a missile at them to finish them off? It'll be an uproar. If Putin does some shit like that, man, it'd be all over the news. It'd be an uproar. It'd be Putin is a war criminal, or if Iran did something like that, it would be all over the news. The only people that tends to get away with stuff like that is Israel. And I don't have a racist bone in my body. And first of all, Jews is not a race. It's a religion, and I love everybody. You hear me? But the government. The Israeli government, they cutthroat, man. They don't have a problem unaliving innocent people. They'll unalive 1,000 innocent people just to knock out one. You understand? So it seems like it's just biases, man. We want to get away with shit that Another country, if another country did, oh, we'd be in an uproar. We'd be like, that's the biggest war criminal. It is. America, man, the government. I love my country. Trust me, I love my country. But the government is not to be trusted, and the government is dirty and low down, and they're not for your best interest. So for all you people in here that's saying, oh, it's about the drugs, he's doing a good thing, he's doing a noble cause, it ain't about no damn drugs. It's not about no drugs. It's about oil. It's about kicking Maduro out so he can install a United States friendly puppet government, and then that's when the oil companies gonna come in and we gonna get all of the contracts and shit. We about to cut Russia, China, Iran. They about to be gone. And I ain't, like I say, Trump ain't playing checkers. He playing chess. But my problem ain't that. The problem is we got the United States government, the full power and force of the United States government dropping a bomb, a missile on two unarmed non-combatants in a shipwreck. That's exactly what happened. And they we got some dumbass Republicans, senators, politicians talking about where they posed a threat. Oh my God. How in the hell are you going to pose a threat to an aircraft carrier, to all these super carrier groups, warships, drones, attack helicopters, and you posing a threat and you holding on to debris in the middle of an ocean? And you the threat? That's how dumb they think y'all are. And I got to be honest with y'all. Some of y'all is that damn dumb and that stupid to take their word and believe it. It is ridiculous. But anyway, y'all, once I saw that particular footage right there, I said, I got to go live again. I got to go live again. Trust me, man. This shit really, I know it's crime all over the world. People are getting, victimized and unalived every day. But that don't mean I can't speak out on something that our government, some fuck shit that our government did, man. That was straight up, murder. And Pete Hedgehog need to be fired. He need to resign or either be fired. And I believe that I frankly believe that the admiral that did this, that gave the final order, he need to be fired too. And both of them need to be locked up. They need to be locked up. But anyway, to 167 of y'all, listen, I appreciate you, even the trolls and even the people that disagree with me. I'm just saying what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And you just cannot be killing people just to kill them. They should not be able to attach the word terrorist to somebody's name and automatically you are marked for elimination, to be put down. Make it make sense, man. But anyway, much love to you. I'll see y'all later tonight. Gun Freak Nation, I appreciate you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm always going to give y'all the real. Last night yesterday I took it too far. I rewatched the video. I'm like, damn, I couldn't believe I was just crashing out like that. But whenever I believe in something passionate like that, it's going to come out of me. You feel me? But I'm trying to hold my composure. I appreciate y'all for y'all precious time, because here on this earth, that's all we got is time. You know what I'm saying? And y'all using y'all precious time to watch me rant about some fuck shit that this government did. You know what I'm saying? You can't be killing people just to be killing them. Make the shit make sense. Innocent people in a boat fighting for their life, and this is ridiculous. Exactly, Mr. 57. Send them the funky song. Send them trolls to Funky Town. You know what I'm saying? Send them to Funky Town. What up? What up? What up? Do you now that you saw that footage? What up? Do you agree with me now? What up? Did you just see that footage? Do you agree with me? What up? What's up, burner girl? I love you too. What up? I see you putting the flag up. What up? Ain't nothing wrong with loving the country. I love the country too, but what up? You need to speak out when your country is doing wrong. You got to stand up and speak out. So what up? You telling me that you said no, that's not a war. So you're telling me that that's not a war crime. Killing innocent unarmed people that's shipwrecked is not a war crime. That's what you're telling me? Get your emotions out of it. The law is the law. We have something called the Geneva Convention. You cannot fire on a combatant that is not being a threat to you, an unarmed combatant. And in this case, they weren't even combatants. This is not a war. This was a drug interdiction that could have been. They could have just raided that boat, arrested them people. But my point of contention is you don't kill innocent survivors, man. What do you mean the Geneva Convention doesn't apply to this? What do you mean? What up? What do you mean? Explain to me how the Geneva Convention doesn't apply to this. I want to hear it. Because if you're trying to say that this was not a war, Trump and Pete Hedgehog is saying this is a war on drugs. He's using the same playbook that George W. Bush did when he was like, this is he was like, this is a war on terror, which I perfectly understood that over 3,000 Americans lost their lives on 9/11. So yeah, he had every right to declare war on terrorists, but this ain't no real war on drugs. This is going to be the beginning stages of regime change. This is all about regime change. But we already know that that's what they ultimate goal is. That's the game plan. They want Maduro out so they can take over all that oil. But for you to say it ain't got nothing to do with the Geneva Convention, hey, you need to talk to your homeboy Trump and Hedgehog about that, because they the ones that's saying we about to go to war against these cartels and all of these drug lords and stuff. So they the ones that's utilizing the U.S. military to do this shit. So yes, they didn't. Oh, and then even if the Geneva, I'm gonna give you your point. Even if the Geneva Convention doesn't factor in and you still can't just go killing people. It's still illegal. What you got to say? What up? Did not know. See there? What up? See? And this is how they fooling the American people, man. They checking out terrorists. Who was the terrorists? Who was the terrorist? Who was the terrorist? Because see, now y'all playing a deadly game. So okay, so what you gonna do when they designate you a terrorist? What up? What you gonna do then? We know you not. I know you're not a terrorist. We know you're not a terrorist. But what if good old Donald Trump or good old Pete Hedgehog decide to make you a terrorist? Would it be all right for them to just drop a missile on you? And everybody cheer and be like, yeah, he was a terrorist. Come on, man. They throwing that word around too easily. Let them people go before a judge and jury and be judged with the evidence. Them people was not no terrorists. They might have been drug smugglers. But was they getting ready to try to enter into the country and blow some shit up? Or enter a mall and start gunning people down? I don't think so. I don't think so. And you cannot, I can't believe what up you actually down with that. The killing of two innocent lives, man. Two innocent men lost their lives. How can you be down with that and call yourself a religious man, man? Explain that to me. What up? What up? You need to come on the show. I will end this live right now and fire you up my restream and put the link up so you can come in and give me your perspective. Are you willing to do that? I will quit this live right now and go into my studio and fire you up my stream, not StreamYard, but Restream, and let's talk about it. Let's have a debate about it. What up? So you saying the CNN and the View has really brainwashed me? That's kind of disrespectful. What up? That's disrespectful. But I will say this. I agree with the left on this one. They doing some dumb shit and they deserve to be talked about. See, that's one thing. Don't ever have your head stuck up somebody's ass to the point to where you can't even smell they bullshit. Because what they doing, that was some bullshit. That was some straight bullshit. And what up? I ain't trying to be disrespectful. You know I love you, brother. But you got your head stuck so far up Trump's ass and these Republicans, MAGA, whatever the hell ass, that you can't even smell they bullshit. That's straight bullshit. Anybody, I can walk up to a toddler and ask a toddler, is it okay to kill two innocent people that's shipwrecked? The toddler gonna be like, no, it's not. It's not. So don't let them, they the one that got your ass brainwashed. You the one that's brainwashed. Shit. We got 129 people up in here. Listen, y'all. They need to bring charges against Pete Hedgehog, and they need to get rid of that damn admiral too. Whoever that gave the final word to unalive those two innocent human beings. When are we going to start looking at people as human beings, man? Now, if they survived that boat and they was able to grab guns and start shooting up at the drones and all that, then I can understand that. But somebody holding on like this, man, imagine me in the ocean right now. Imagine me in the ocean. Forgive the cum stains, y'all. Forgive the cum stains. But imagine me in the ocean and I'm holding on, because I can't really swim worth of shit. And the bed is the debris, and I'm holding on. I'm trying to raid. Please, I'm surrendering. Please don't attack me. Please don't drop another bomb on me. And I'm holding on. And them dirty sons of bitches let one go, let one loose, and end my life. That ain't right. Anybody in here think that is right? Something ain't right about you. We may just have a differences in opinion, but this shit, in my opinion, goes beyond opinion. This is morality. This is spirituality, man. What makes you any different than the real terrorists out there? What up? If you so, bloodthirsty, because it seemed like good old Pete Hedgehog and Trump is bloodthirsty, bloodlust, and it's not for a noble cause. It's for oil. It's a precursor to get into Venezuela to take their oil. They don't give a damn about no drugs, man. Don't fall for the nonsense. Exactly, Jeremy. We used to be Superman. Now we acting like Debo. I couldn't have said it better, brother. We being a bully like a motherfucker. I couldn't have said it better. What this country will do to another country to rape it of its resources, come on, man. We the biggest pimp in the world, and we like little countries like Venezuela's like whores, and they want Maduro gone. Here's the plan. Trump sitting in the Oval Office. Damn. Venezuela got the largest fucking oil reserve in the world. Bigger than Saudi Arabia's, right? Bigger than Saudi Arabia's oil reserve, right? But we can't get in on it because he don't cozied up. He allied with Putin. The president of China, Fing whatever his name is, whoever the president of China is, Maduro is cool with the president of China, Russia, Iran. They benefiting from this oil. And they shit is dilapidated like a motherfucker. It need to be upgraded and all that and shit. But we ain't got we ain't getting no parts of it because Maduro is our enemy. So Trump thinking like, well, shit, maybe if I can come up with something to get the American people to fall for it, to back me up, we're gonna rage a war on drugs. And then what we gonna do, so we can use our military, is we gonna label them narco terrorists. If you attach the word terrorist to anybody's name, the American people gonna be like 1,000% behind it. They gonna support it because everybody still got 9/11 on their mind, right? So if we able to attach these cartels, attach the word terrorist to these cartels, we can use the whole the full strength, the full power of the United States government on these people. But the end goal ain't really the drugs. The end goal is the inroads into Venezuela, and they gonna take over the oil. They gonna build up. They gonna upgrade it and make it modern and all that shit. And that's when the American companies gonna come in. They're gonna rebuild all that shit, and we gonna be getting the oil. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I'm telling you, the means of them doing that, I just think it's dangerous, man. And a lot of people is gonna die. A lot of people see, I always see things, I try to look at things from both perspectives. By me growing up in the hood, I knew a lot of people that had to sell drugs. I even sold drugs for 2 weeks. I sold drugs. But I've seen people, I've lived it, I've been around some of the most coolest, nicest people, the friendliest people, man. That they wasn't no gangsters or murderers. They did what they had to do to survive, man, to put food on their table, to pay their utility bills, to stay afloat, because they didn't have no job opportunities. And that's one thing I can't stand. Get up off your lazy ass and get a job and do something. You cannot judge somebody until you have walked their path, until you have walked in their shoes. I reserve from judging people because I haven't lived their life, and I don't know what happened in their life to get them into the circumstances that they in. When I sold drugs for 2 weeks, it was for pussy. Because I was in love with the pussy or whatever, the head or whatever. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? But I knew a lot of drug dealers. And they were some of the nicest people that I ever met. Even though what they was doing, it might have did be counterproductive in the neighborhood, but it is what it is, man. People gonna do what they gonna do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, because them people was on that boat, maybe they needed the money, maybe they was forced to do it. But I'm not gonna wish death on them, and I'm certainly not gonna call them no terrorists because Trump decided to put that stamp on their name. They didn't deserve to die. Was they killing people? Was they doing something? Was they in the middle of getting ready to do a terror attack? Come on, man. This shit is not right. It's not. It's not. You said Caracas is 1,200 miles from Miami? But dig this, Mr. Trimble, Ten Ball, Mexico is right next door. Everybody know the biggest, and I love my Mexicans. This is not an anti-Mexican. I love my Mexicans, and Mexicans love me. I love everybody. I'm not no racist motherfucker. I don't give a fuck I don't care whether you black, white, Mexican, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about your religions. All I care about is your soul, your spirit, you being righteous. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the person that is so loyal to a politician or their policies to the point to to the point to where I'm going to ignore my own values, where I give them a pass against my own values. That's one thing about Charlie Clerk that I agreed with. I remember I was watching a Charlie Clerk interview, and he said what was happening over there in the Middle East, how Israel was just, just bombing them people and starving them, and they'll take out 100 people just to get one terrorist, right? He said that bothered him. He said he had to question his own Christianity. Like, how can you be down and approve and cheerlead a government? And this is no dig at the Jews. The Jews ain't got nothing to do with their government. Israel is a country. That's a government that's running Israel, right? But anytime when you dropping a bomb where you got disregard, no disregard for innocent life, and they just gonna say, well, it was just a casualty of war. Nah, man, you don't do that. I'm not down with that, man. And for you to be, I get it. Some people was just, I'm gonna stand by my country no matter what. I'm gonna stand by, Trump's decision, Pete Hedgehog decision, no matter what, even though I'm supposed to be a Christian or a Catholic or whatever. I'm going to stand by them. I'm going to put their decision makers, politicians, who at the end of the day don't give a damn about you or me, but because I'm standing with the flag, I'm standing with Trump, I'm standing with Hedgehog, all my morality out the door. They surpasses my morality because I believe in them and not in God. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. What are you talking about? What up? I can't believe that some of y'all actually agree with what they did. Is this what this country is this what this world is coming down to? Where somebody can just attach a name and say that person is a terrorist, and y'all don't see no proof, no evidence, and y'all automatically believe it? And so they could just go around just assassinating people, dropping bombs on people. Are you telling me y'all that gullible? Y'all that brainwashed? Y'all got y'all heads that far stuck up his booty to where you can't smell the doo-doo? The bullshit that they doing? Come on, man. Wake up. Use your common sense. And I'm not trying to disrespect you or insult your intellect or none of that. But what's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right. And all you got to say, when they talk about all this evidence, all this proof, they said the same crap back in 2003 when George W. Bush invaded Iraq. That was the most stupid, unjust, unnecessary war that I've ever seen in my life, that cost over 3,000 American soldiers their lives. That cost hundreds of thousands of Iraqis their lives. I'm gonna give you the truth. Iraq was better off under Saddam Hussein than it is right now. Because if that invasion, if that war wouldn't have never happened, it wouldn't have never been an ISIS. ISIS formed right there in the prison camps that the United States established when they were in Iraq. That's when ISIS spawned. So it was just they need to bring, they need to lock George. Since I'm talking about having politicians locked up, they need to lock his ass up too. Because he did far worse than Trump did. But I just don't understand how y'all don't get the picture that it's not okay to bomb and murder two innocent people that's floating in the middle of the ocean, holding on for their dear life to some wreckage. Y'all some uncaring, y'all just don't give a damn. Y'all niggas should have just signed up for the military. If you want to just kill, if you get thrills from killing people, sign up your damn self to the military. Because that's what y'all sound like. Maniacs. Blood-lusting maniacs that just don't care. Yeah, it was more than 2 people. It was actually 11 people in the boat, NG the Spall. It was 11 people in the boat. When the boat got hit the first time, 9 of those people were killed. 2 survived. There was 11 people on the boat. They waited 41 minutes watching those 2 men, innocent men, those 2 innocent men, because we don't have no proof. Where's the drugs at? Where's the proof of all of that? I'm starting to think they did the double tap, the second strike, just to destroy evidence. It might have not even been no drugs on that boat. Make it make sense, y'all. Thank you. You don't run drugs with the you know what? You know what? NG Legend. NG let's ball this ball. You right. You don't want, if you're gonna do a drug boat, how you gonna have 11 people on there? How you gonna have 11 people on a drug boat? Come on now. Come on now, man. It's more to it than what they letting out. And why on earth, why, you know, and then you got Pete Hedgehog. Oh, we don't know whether we gonna release the full video or not. It might undermine, it just might undermine some operations. You know, we got agents on the ground right now doing covert shit. So we might not release the video in its entirety. That's bull crap, because you didn't have a problem releasing the video when the boat got hit by the first missile. So why you got a problem releasing the whole video when it get hit by the second missile? That lets you know right there that they on that bullshit. They man, come on. They know they messed up. They know they messed up. Why do you think they ain't releasing the video? And if they do, that's why I hope the Democrats put pressure on them to release that video. And then what up? You're gonna eat all your words up. You're gonna eat all your words up. What up? Every single one of y'all that, yeah, they should. Man, come on. It was some politicians, the ones that did see the video, they said it was the most disgusting, most horrible, some of them said they was even on the verge, some of them even threw up. It turned their stomachs because they watched for 41 minutes that these men struggled to live, holding on to wreckage and debris for their very lives, and then all of a sudden, 41 minutes, after 41 minutes, they blew them out the water to kill them too. Man, this is horrible, man. It's almost, it's embarrassing. It didn't turn your stomach, Mr. Timball? Mr. Timball, what's your issue, man? What's your issue? Why are you down with innocent people that ain't been charged? You ain't seen no proof. You going off of what the government say, and you happy. So you telling me, Mr. Timball, you telling me that you happy that they dropped the bomb on 2 innocent people, 2 innocent survivors, to wipe them out? Explain that to me, sir. Explain that to me. All right, man. Okay. All right. Okay. So what? Okay. Maybe one day they might decide to label you as a terrorist. What you gonna do then? I'm rating Mr. Timball. What if they decide to label you as a terrorist? And I'm not trying to disrespect you, Mr. Timball. I'm just saying. I'm trying to get where your logic at right now, because where you know, I don't believe in, you know, taking the lives of innocent people. I don't believe in that. I'm not banning you. You haven't disrespected me, Mr. Timball. You haven't called me out of my name or disrespected me. We just having a conversation. And I'm just trying to figure out the logic behind some of you who think that that was okay. Because in my book, in my world, it's not okay to kill innocent people that's trying to, holding on for dear life, man. It's just not right. I don't care. I don't give a damn if they really were drug dealers at that point. That's just like saying, let me try to compare something. It ain't really got nothing to do with this, but that's just like all of the idiots that were saying George Floyd deserved what happened to him. A lot of people to this day say George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, or it was the exhaust. The defense was like, it was the exhaust. He breathed in all that exhaust and that. Nah, man. Once they had, I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this. If George Floyd would have simply complied, in order for it to get to point B, it had to be a point A, right? So if he would have just like, hey man, take me to jail, put the handcuffs on me, read me my rights, and take me to jail or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But instead of him flipping all out and all that, that's what made it to point B. But I'm gonna tell you, at point B, as soon as they put them handcuffs on George Floyd, and I don't know whether the guy was guilty or not. I never saw the counterfeit $20 bill. I never saw that. But when the police, I don't give a damn. George Floyd could have been the biggest serial killer, the biggest terrorist in the world. When those handcuffs was put on him, he was now in police custody. And what Derek Chauvin did to him, that shit was foul. And he deserved every stab that the nigga got when he was locked up. He deserved everything that he had coming to him, because he did not have to do that man like that. That man already had been handcuffed. It was no need for you to keep your knee on his neck. So I'm comparing it to that. So even if they were drug smugglers, when that first missile hit and destroyed the boat, they was out the game. And I'm not going to say there was no longer a danger. Them niggas on that boat wasn't no danger to nobody. They drug smugglers. Alleged. So when that boat blew up and they holding on to their life, who made them God for 41 minutes? I want to know. I want to ask y'all a question. Who made them God for 41 minutes to decide whether these unarmed non-combatants deserve to die? And whoever that made that decision to fire that second missile, which is Pete Hedgehog and that admiral, and Donald Trump got a complicit role in it, because the whole goal is all smoke and mirrors. Okay, this is about regime change. Let's not get this confused. This is not no drug. This is not about no drugs. Because if it was about drugs, they would be bombing Mexico. We would be at war with Mexico right now. We would be bombing Colombia right now. This is not about no freaking drugs. This is about regime change. Okay? So when we invade, because it's going to be an invasion, trust me. The United States ain't put 15,000 soldiers, aircraft carriers there for no reason. And you know how much money it take to maintain that shit? And they just sitting there? No. It's about to go down. And if they do a draft, what up? They might be drafting your ass. Mr. Timball, they might be drafting you. And you would go over there and sacrifice your life for some fucking oil. Is your life, tell me something, what up? And Mr. Timball, is y'all life worth some oil? So some already rich billionaire motherfuckers can be even more richer? Now we getting somewhere now. Because, listen, them oil people probably don't cut the big United States oil companies probably don't made all kind of backroom deals with Trump. They probably telling Trump ass, man, you give us this Venezuela oil, you're gonna be a trillionaire. Not no billionaire, but a fucking trillionaire. This is all about the elite. This is all about the oil, which is all about the money. It's rich motherfuckers behind. And he got y'all niggas fooled thinking it's really about drugs and y'all cheerleading innocent people getting killed. And them innocent people was at the bottom of the totem pole, people. Everybody knows in the drug gang, the smugglers and peddlers are at the bottom of the barrel. They are disposable. But to me, a life is a life. Life is precious. And if you are really a religious person and you really got God in your heart, you're not going to be listening to these foul, wicked, corrupt politicians who don't give a damn about you at the end of the day. It's all about money. You got the oil people don't get in touch with Trump and be like, get us in this fucking Venezuela so we can take these niggas oil. That's what it's all about. Trump don't give a fuck about you. He don't give a fuck about me. All he care about is oil. That's all he care about. He got all y'all niggas out there food. Every single one of you. See, now I'm getting worked up again, but listen, man, what up? I'm about to fire up my other live. I'm gonna throw the link up, and whoever that want to come in and debate me, click the link, and I'm gonna let you in as long as you ain't on no weirdo shit. I don't need to click on you and you exposing yourself or got guns, holding guns, and none of that. I'm not gonna allow you on my stage, on my platform, because you're gonna get the channel took. What up? Click the link. Burner Girl, come join, click the link. Give me your I'm about to fire it up now. Burner Girl, click that link. What up? Click the link. So somebody making fun because I sold drugs for 2 weeks. I ain't gonna lie. When I did think I was that's something that that was a chapter in my life that I'm not proud of. I did it for I did it for the wrong reason. It should not ever be a good reason to sell drugs, but I get it. I grew up in the hood. People had to do what they had to do to survive. I remember, I'm going to share this story with you. I remember it was wintertime, January. Everybody know in Michigan, January is like the coldest month of the year, And I remember one of the neighbors, they couldn't afford to pay their utility bills, the gas and lights, Back in them days, the gas and the lights, your electricity, they were separated. You had your gas bill and then you had your light bill, your electricity bill, your electric bill, right? But now, they merged both of them together. When you pay your bill, you're paying for your gas and your lights. But back then in the 80s, they were separate bills. I remember it was a neighbor that the gas had got shut off. And I remember feeling bad, and my family felt bad for them because it was cold out there, man. And back then when you couldn't pay your gas bill, what would happen is the gas company would come out and they would put a lock on your gas meter, so you couldn't turn it back on. So I was watching out the window. The father, the family, he had a hammer, he had a chisel, and he was out there trying to break that lock off. He was trying to break it off so he can get that gas to keep his family warm. You know what the neighbor across the street that they was beefing with? Those dirty bastards, man. They called the gas company on that guy. And my father was like, that was some dirty shit, even though we didn't have nothing to do with it. But he was like, how can they not have compassion? And why would they want to tell on somebody for trying to keep their family warm? You know what I'm saying? People got to do, when in desperate times, sometimes it is desperate measures. But I would never, I'm not trying to glorify that, you know, what happened like 25 years ago in my life when I was a drug dealer for 2 weeks over, you know, Maria, this Mexican you know, horror that I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not boasting about it or bragging or but am I, you know, I'm just saying. I'm not, you know, but I just find it wrong. I'm not I mean, I don't know whether I'm a Christian. I'm a spiritual. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like religion, politics, and race were put here by men to divide us. At some point, man, we got to elevate and above all this politics shit, all this racism shit, all this religion shit that got us hating each other. We got to rise above that. And this is what I'm trying to you know, to enlighten y'all. It ain't cool killing two innocent people. It's not cool. And I don't, Mr. Timball or whoever else that disagree with me, I don't know how you came up, your childhood or whatever. But to me, killing innocent people is wrong. It's wrong. And if y'all agree with that, man, good luck with the Lord, man. Good luck when you got to stand before God and God asks you if is it okay to kill alleged drug smugglers or drug dealers. And Trump being very feisty and shicey, he's smart enough to attach the name of narco terrorists. Because as soon as you put terrorists in it, oh yeah, kill them all. Come on, man. Really? Is y'all that naive? Now I'm about to fire up this other live and I'm gonna put the link up. Because y'all sure do got a lot to say. So I want you to say it to my face. I want to debate. So I'm about to jump off this live and jump on the other one and click the link and say it to my face. You ain't got to show yourself. Turn your camera off. I wish I did have some Viagra. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I love you, Gun Freak Nation. Thank y'all for tuning in for another one. And I'm about to fire up the other live. What up? I hope to see you. Love y'all, Gun Freak Nation. Salute, baby.